Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. So this video is part 1 of the full moon total lunar eclipse happening on March 14th, 2025. Part 2 is always available on Patreon, where I go over sun, moon, rising placements, pull cards, and see whatever channeled messages come through. So when it comes to this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, the first thing that I want to share with you is the numerology, of course. When it comes to the numerology, I want to stop at the personal year energy, or start with the personal year energy. And we are in the year 2025, and 2025 adds up to the number 9 vibration. So with us being in a personal year 9, as we move through each full moon and new moon, keep in mind that the personal year, that energy is amplified. And I personally feel it is working with the full moon and the new moon to bring forth changes together, meaning with us being in a personal number 9 year, we're experiencing major changes in the sense that it's a kind of change where a person has been in a certain career for, say, the past 8-9 years, maybe 15 years, for a long time. And all of a sudden, this is the year where you're considering shifting career. This is the year you're considering walking away from it completely. So with us being in a 9 personal year, we're at a time where we're deciding where it is that we're gonna go next. It would remind me of the 2 of Wands in the tarot. And on the 2 of Wands tarot card, you see a person looking at a globe and they're looking at where they wanna go next. And the number 2 energy is putting something in motion, and the Wand energy is about taking action. But with us being in a 9 year, we're at the point of wanting to put something to an end, along with figuring out where it is that we want to go next. And with us being in the month of March is the 3rd month, and the number 3 energy deals with expression. It's a creative energy. It's a childlike energy. It's a communicative energy. And the full moon is on the 14th. The 14th consists of the number 1 that deals with new beginnings, the number 4 that deals with stability. 1 + 4 is 5. 5 deals with change, sudden and unexpected changes pertaining to us as individuals and the things that bring stability or security. The day of the full moon, which is March 14th, 2025, adds up or reduced to number 8 vibration. The number 8 energy deals with systems and cycles. It deals with authority. And with the number 8 energy, whenever we see it, it's a matter of reflecting on the system or the cycle that we're in, and what kind of changes will we implement into this system or cycle to take it to the next level. Will we continue with things as it is because we're comfortable with it the way it is, or do we want to experience something new? And that's where we look at the system of a thing. So this full moon total eclipse energy is at 23 degrees. 2 + 3, we have the number 5 again. So for me, when it comes to this total lunar eclipse energy, it will seem as if something comes to an end in the most sudden and unexpected way. And with the number 2 present, there's an emotional factor. And with the number 3 present, there is this immature factor. So it's almost like something happens, and from acting off of emotions, there's a sudden and unexpected event and boom, things come to a change. But I personally feel like when it comes to sudden and unexpected events, they're not so sudden and unexpected. It's just a matter of us looking in one direction while the thing was happening. So it feels as if it catches us off guard. When it comes to the second thing that I want to share about this full moon total eclipse is what happens when we have a full moon in Virgo. So Virgo energy deals with our health. Virgo energy deals with our time, how we manage our time. It's our health. When I think of Virgo energy, I automatically think of like a planner, a calendar, a planner where you're writing down, your schedule, what it is that you have to do today and what time. When I think of Virgo energy, I also think of healing when it comes to exercising and eating healthy. When it comes to Virgo energy, I also think of a scientific energy. I think of science because within science, you think of patterns and data. And Virgo is all about patterns, data, information, and things of that. And Virgo energy is also a service-oriented energy. So with the full moon in Virgo and a lunar eclipse, full moon energy in Virgo, there's major transformation, major ending when it comes to something about our diet, something about our food, something about the way we serve others. And it feels as if it's this sudden and unexpected thing, like it comes up out of nowhere. But again, I feel like it's because we were focused over there at something else. So, this thing appears to come up out of nowhere. And with this full moon total lunar eclipse energy, with the full moon also, we have a full moon whenever the sun and the moon are apart. They're in opposing signs, but at the same exact degree. And with them being in opposing signs at the same exact degree, there's a push and pull. The sun is the father, the moon is the mother. So it's like a push and pull between the masculine and feminine aspects of ourselves, a push and pull between our practical mind and our intuitive self. And so with this push and pull, it's like something has to give. Something has to give. And from this giving, something changes and evolves to the next level. And this brings me to the third thing that I want to share about this full moon total lunar eclipse. And it's the challenges. And when it comes to the challenges with this full moon total lunar eclipse energy, when I look at the chart itself, the major challenges for me comes down to trust within self, trust within what it is that we're feeling and what it is that we know. And the challenges between what it is that we're feeling and what it is that we know, I think of how Virgo energy is that scientific energy. Like I said, it's an energy that deals with patterns, repetition, and gets proof from patterns and repetition. But what if we have no examples of something that we want to experience, something that we want to make happen? That's where the opposition comes in, which is Pisces. Where Pisces energy is the dream. Pisces is the dreamer. This is where we have a vision of something. And with Virgo energy, Virgo needs more than just the vision. Virgo needs examples of others who has done it, so Virgo can feel safe to make it happen. But Pisces and Virgo need each other. They're opposing energies, but they're very similar energies. And both of these energies, to me, have this innocence about them. Both of these energies have this naive innocence about them, but both of these energies are healing, service-oriented energies, where Pisces heal on a non-metaphysical level and Virgo heals on a physical level. I think of, say, Virgo is the scientist and Pisces is spirituality. And it's like both of these energies are similar and appear to be doing different things, but they're really saying the same thing, and it depends on how you choose to see them. So when it comes to the challenge, when it comes to this full moon energy, with the moon and Virgo, our inner world is nurtured at the thought of perfection. Our inner world is nurtured at the thought of service. And with the sun and Pisces, we identify with the things, with a dream, with visions, dreams, ideas. But I think of the challenge as I identify with these visions of making certain things happen, but with the moon, the need for perfection, the need for it to be done a certain way is problematic. Like what I think of when I think of this energy, I think of like the person who has been focused a certain time of their life, learning a certain thing or having certain experiences, but to them, every time they think of putting themselves out there and sharing their work with others or starting their own business or starting their own thing, they always say that I don't know enough. Like if you're someone who has any planets within Pisces, any planets within Virgo or in the 6th house, you can find yourself easily always questioning if you know enough to do something, always dismissing what it is that you know and feeling like you don't know enough, feeling like you're not prepared enough, feeling like you need to go back to school to learn more. When with this energy, you have to remind yourself that you cannot be wrong for sharing your own experience, your own observation when it comes to a thing, and be clear that this is my experience, this is my observation. Just like with you watching this video, this is my observation of reading the charts and how I choose to read it, and who resonates great and who don't. There's so many others to check out and look into. So when it comes to the challenge with this full moon energy, something comes to a major ending, and for some of us, it might be hard to see how we pick up the pieces and how we move on from there. When it comes to the challenge with this energy, it could be that, a group of people are experiencing major layoffs. And I say layoffs because Virgo energy dealing with the 6th house, something ends in a major way when it comes to someone's work schedule. Something ends in a major way when it comes to someone's daily routine, which plays a big part in what it is that they do for work. And of course, that ties back into us being in a 9 personal year, because say for the person who gets laid off, who loses their job, for me, that's a part of their divine timing. I imagine it as you have a bus to catch because you have somewhere else to be. It's an energetic bus that you have to catch. It's a frequency bus that you have to catch. And you need to be somewhere else. You need to be available to be somewhere else because you have other experiences that you're called to have. So you get fired from the job, or something happens and you're let go from the job. And from that letting go, you're now available to get the insight, the inspiration that you need to get in order to move on to what's next. So with this energy, for me, even though it's a challenge, that something ends when it comes to your schedule. Maybe something ends when it comes to your health, something ending when it comes to your health, in the sense that I think of the person all of a sudden they're experiencing some major things popping up when it comes to their health, but these things aren't meant to be forever. They're just meant to get a person's attention, because for some people, it's not until they lost this job that defined them, they're able to wake up and start going within on their spiritual journey. It's not until the breakup, it's not until the health situation that causes them to be, present within their body, because the body isn't working the way how it normally does. They're forced to go inside because the way out is from the inside. So yes, the challenge is something appears to end in a major way, and there's something with authority. There's some authoritative aspect to it, and some cycle. You have to question the system within your life and how you've been doing things, because something is clearly no longer working with this sudden ending. And the ending has to do with your work schedule, or just your overall schedule, your time, your availability, the service that you give to others, and how you take care of yourself. And it brings me to the 4th thing, which is unexpected. And I mentioned the unexpected. And for me, the unexpected is, it's like the person been a part of this company for years and never saw the layoff coming, or a person been eating this way for years. My whole family ate this way and never saw the diagnosis coming, never saw this thing coming from out of nowhere, because I've been doing this for years, so much to where I identify with this thing. But for me, the blessings, which is the 5th thing that I want to share, and it's something that I already mentioned, the blessings is to help you to pivot and change course. The blessings is to help you to catch that spiritual bus, that frequency bus that's going to take you to another frequency. So I like to use temperature. I've always used temperature to explain frequency and manifestations. And when it comes to the frequency and manifestation aspect of things, I think of, say, for the longest, you've been existing at, say, I don't know, like 78 degrees. You like your space at 78 degrees. It's like tuning into a certain station. At certain 78 degrees, your life looks a certain way. You attract a certain kind of people. You look a certain way. You feel a certain way within yourself at 78 degrees. But you have visions for yourself. You want to have different experiences. And in order to get to those different experiences, you need to shift to a temperature that is at 72 degrees. But in order for you to even get to that 72 degrees frequency, and at 72 degrees, you look different, your world looks different, your financial situation looks different, things are just different. But in order for you to even get there, you gotta let go at being at that 78 degree, and that could look like the health situation that forces a person to lock in. That could look like the changes in a person's schedule where they got to go out and find a different job, or they got to go out and pursue a different career. And from that, they have to go within. And instead of just, deciding to go out and just jump into a different job or jump into a different career, instead, I love that with North Node in Pisces, which is, a part of the opposition. It's a part of the challenge. North Node in Pisces conjunct Saturn, I love that we're seeing how we can monetize our dreams. We're seeing how our dreams could become a reality. So it's not a coincidence that overall the energy is encouraging us to see how our dreams could become a reality. And at the same time, we're being forced to make major changes in our worlds, changes that some of us didn't even want to make. And from these changes, it's like we shift frequency, because now that you're forced to look at certain things, you're gaining new information, you're thinking different. And before you know it, boom, you're at that new frequency, that new temperature that brings in all these other things that you want. Let's pause for a bit. I am proud of the services that I offer and excited to tell you about them. If it would be your first time booking with me, then I recommend the natal chart and numerology awareness coaching session. For a while, that was the only service I offered, along with the 30 minutes tarot reading, which is still available if you're interested. I noticed the pattern. At the end of the natal chart and numerology coaching sessions, some of you would ask me for a follow-up service options for additional clarity and guidance to assist you with whatever you're going through at the moment. I kept saying, I'll look into it. I don't know why it took me so long. Finally, I have created that option along with the service option to book a solar return chart reading for those of you who are strategic and like to plan ahead. Everything you need to know is within the description box below. Let's get back into the video. Like, when I think of this energy, I think of myself and experiences that I went through, where I remember moving to Florida. When I first moved to Florida, and in the space of, say, a year and a half, I moved from 1, 2, 3, 4 different salons, and all because they all kept closing down. And I could have bought into the mindset that, oh, it's because the beauty industry is falling apart. People don't have no money, this, that, and the next one. That's not true. There are women who prioritize their beauty and getting their hair, their nails, and things done over other things that they probably should prioritize over that. But there's an industry for it. And I could have fallen into that mindset like others and say, oh, it's because of this, that, and the next. But no, I said, you know what? There's a pattern here. I keep moving from shop to shop, and it's because they keep closing. All of them closed, one relocated. But either way, it felt like I wasn't, I just hated having to text all my clients and say, I'm now in this new location, I'm in that new location, because there were some clients that, maybe they changed their numbers and they went looking for me at an old place and I'm not there. So instead, I took it as I need to take control over my life, and it's time for me to open up my own salon so that I can have a stable place, opposed to be moving up and down. Because every time a salon moved or closed, I would never follow the people in the salon. I would always go rent a booth somewhere total different for a totally different new experience. And after the last one, the fourth one, something in me is like, it's time. I think the universe is telling me that it's time for me to do my own thing, So instead of just going from shop to shop to shop, I took over my own destiny and having to go within. I remember having a dream that the last one was going to close, and that's when I started thinking. And instead of having to jump to another, that's when I did my own thing. But I feel like it's very similar to this energy where the person who's put in the position who has to make radical change, instead of doing things the way you've always done it, maybe the changes are trying to teach you something about yourself. The changes are encouraging you to do things a little bit different. And with this energy, with the blessings, I feel like these changes are setting some of us free if we choose to align ourselves with the energy. Because of course, there's going to be some of us who sit back and allow, time and energies and opportunities to pass us by. And there's some of us who are alchemists who are using these energies to transform our lives and our situations. And with this being a total lunar eclipse energy, this brings in major endings. So with it being major ending, there's major shifts when it comes to our health system, when it comes to our jobs for some people, health system for other people, situation with health insurance and health. Just think of all health related things. There's major endings when it comes to that. And think of schedule. So people's jobs. When it comes to the health thing, like for me, I invest in my health. My insurance, my biggest investment is in my health. And it comes to, learning to be strong enough to only engage in things that my body needs to thrive and not get lost on that BS of moderation and justifying consuming things that are just killing us slowly. Because moderation for me only applies to things that are good for us. When something is bad for you, it's just bad for you. It's like the person saying, it's like the person saying they smoke crack in moderation. It's like, it's bad for you. So it shouldn't be a part of your life in the first place. And that's how I see processed foods, junk foods. It shouldn't be a part of our lives in the first place. Our wealth is within our health. So when it comes to this energy brings us to focus on our schedule. And for some of us, it's job changes and our health. And whether it's issues with insurance or the medical system or the whole structure of the medical system, or even the whole structure of what's in our foods, what's allowed to be in our foods, and all of that. At the end of the day, we have a say when it comes to the things that we choose to consume. At the end of the day, we have a say when it comes to what we want to put our time and our energy towards. And I feel like when it comes to this lunar eclipse energy, it's powerful energy, because for me, it brings me to, the salon shift situation. Me being in situations where I keep going from shop to shop and they all keep closing. And at some point I have to take destiny into my own hands. So whether you're taking destiny into your own hands when it comes to your schedule, where you're putting your time, where you're putting your attention, or what you're putting in your mouth, or also how you're serving others. It was a pleasure sharing this message with you. This is part 1. Part 2 is available on Patreon. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a pink heart in the comment box below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.